Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Sunday, wherever you are around the world. And it's a bit of a different video today. We're not talking about the mighty Reds. Well, we might be, sort of. We are discussing Kylian Mbappé. Obviously, has been linked with a few clubs over the last couple of days. Obviously, international break always sparks up rumours once again, certainly to certain clubs. But I did want to talk a little bit about Kylian Mbappe because, of course, it's a big decision that he has to make in the next 6 months. Of course, obviously, we're going to discuss that in today's episode, and just in general, we're going to get your guys' thoughts on the Mbappe situation as well. But yes, we are going to talk about Kylian Mbappe. He is, for me, the number one talked about player, I think, on who could be going next summer in the transfer window. But I want to get your guys' thoughts as well in the comment section down below, because I do think it is a very interesting topic. Because, and we'll get on to this in a brief moment, I feel like football has now entered a new stage of where we've got Haaland, Mbappe, Bellingham, Soboslai. I'll put Soboslai in that category. Why not? But you've got, people, players now that are going to be in the conversation for Ballon d'Ors and going to be in conversation that isn't evolved around Messi or Ronaldo. I think that I don't want to talk about it too soon, but we're going to talk about the Ballon d'Or and talk about that era in particular, potentially ending as well. But let me know how all of you are in the comments anyway. Let me know if the stream is okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. You can see the mic, so hopefully I sound clear and sound okay as well. But let me know your guys. Let me know how all of you are as well in the comments. Big up Connor. Good evening, Sideline. Hopefully doing well. Bryanton as well, saying he should join Burnley. Hey, he's on a free transfer. Bray will be on a free transfer now that he does leave, so could possibly go there. Who knows? Anyway, there is a poll in the comments anyway. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. He's joining Real Madrid. Said it for years. I've also said this as well, but I think with recent comments, I think it could be not as plain sailing, I think, as I think a lot of people think. Like me included, I agree with you, Chris. I've said it for years that I think Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid is more or less happening. It's just a matter of when, not if. But even still, I don't know. We'll get on talking about it in a little bit. Gary's instinct, Talio, or being front three, Mbappe, Nunes, Salah. Thoughts as well. Pro front four in that, to be fair. Gary put Lucho in that as well. Filth. I think that is the correct terminology there. Good evening, Tom. Hopefully doing well, mate. Hopefully streams is doing well. Obviously, if anyone's not following, obviously Mayday over on Twitch. If you like CODs, if you like other games as well, go over and hit the follow button over Tom's channel as well. Tom, put a link in as well if you could. And then obviously Brian adding everyone as well. But yeah, I want to quickly just get on to, of course, why Kylian Mbappe is such a big topic at the minute. And of course, it is international break. Don't get me wrong. There's been rumours, I think, all week that Liverpool are looking at certain players. Obviously, Mbappe's been rumoured. I think there was something with Haaland as well this week again. But as I quickly get the Zane's comment, he's not going to Man City, having too many egos up top and in a good thing. It could be the case, Zane, but good seeing you as well. But I want to quickly get to an article piece. Obviously, you guys would have remembered the past summer concerning Mbappe. Obviously, the big thing was that he wasn't signing a new deal, which of course would allow him to go on a free transfer in this next coming summer transfer window as well. But I want to quickly get up an article piece on goal as well, because of course, if you guys do remember, he was exiled from the PSG squad, which then brought a whole load of controversy in terms of, again, a bid for Mbappe and so on anyway. But I want to quickly read out, of course, The article is back in August. This was, of course, obviously a monumental U-turn. Kylian Mbappé to sign a PSG contract with release clause that guarantees he can leave next summer. If I quickly scroll down for you guys, of course, it does say in this piece that if I quickly stop adding on to the others, Kylian Mbappé looks set to sign a new contract at PSG on the conditions that he is guaranteed to be able to leave next summer. Obviously, Mbappé to sign new PSG deal, 1 year extension until 2025. Deal includes guarantee of sale in 2024. Of course, what happened? Mbappe's future has determined or dominated, sorry, this summer's transfer window, but it now appears that the 24-year-old attacker is going to stay at PSG after all, with a contract offer on the table that would mean he is certain to leave for a fee in 2024. Of course, the bigger picture: in June, Mbappe told PSG that he has no intention of extending his current contract, which expires next summer, and willing to let the French leave on a free. PSG accepted a world record £259 million offer from Saudi club Al Hilal. When Mbappe rejected the move, the French league giants excluded him from their pre-season preparations. I believe it was a tour to Japan, I think, or Asia, that he did miss out on that. And that's what and what's more, now after holding constructive talks with PSG president Nasser Khelaifi, Mbappe is set to sign a 1 year deal until 2025 with a guarantee, with a clause guaranteeing that he can be sold in 2024. Now, to my acknowledgements, and I've checked everywhere on this, there has not been an official contract signing that I could find. There hasn't been an extension. I've gone on PSG, I've gone on transfer market, I've gone on everything, and nothing suggested that there had been a deal signed from PSG, or an extension of that, which again means that he will leave on a free transfer. Now, of course, there was that whole ruction, wasn't it, chat in the summer, that, again, obviously there was a deal agreed between, the Saudi club and PSG. I think 300 million euros in total, and it was going to be like £1 billion in contract fees, which is, again, ridiculous when you think about that. But I think it's a bigger picture that, again, PSG need him to sign that contract. And by the looks of things, and what I've not been able to find, there's no contract extension. And that was back in August. There's different articles as well. And there hasn't been no official word, no Romano saying that it's done and like it's signed, this, that, and the other. I couldn't find anything on it. Now, Mbappe might go now in January. I'm not signing that extra deal, which will, allow him to go for a certain fee. Again, what PSG will probably do is say, if somebody gives us £200 million, then we'll let you go. But that, again, that puts, it puts, three clubs that could spend £200 million in Europe on Kylian Mbappe. We know Mbappe does not want to go to Saudi, obviously from last summer as well. So it is that question of who could afford him in that bracket. Of course, it is only one or two clubs, Madrid, City, in that aspect. Probably even Chelsea could as well, I'd say, even though they do have some dodgy dealings to sort out themselves at the minute. But it's also interesting if he doesn't sign, and again in the January he could turn around and go, I'm not signing that deal, I'm going on a free transfer. Then again, that opens up a can of worms, 100%. But yeah, I'd agree with you on that, saying as well, Brian, saying if Real have changed their mind on him, his options are slim. Yeah, absolutely 100% agree with Bry there. His options are slim in that. And again, if it is that price tag, then there won't be anyone coming in for him. But if it is a free transfer, I think that does open up quite a lot of options for him. 100%, it does. But PSG are one of the only clubs that can afford him. Yeah, that is true as well. PSG could give him everything that he would want. Like Mbappe could put a number on a piece of paper, and PSG would accept it. 100% they would. But and something that I am going to talk about now of in my mind what Mbappe wants, he wants this. He wants the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, and like I was saying at the start of the stream, where for me Mbappe has to leave PSG to be able to win it. Whether or not that's Premier League, whether or not that's another club, I'm not entirely sure. But for me, he has to leave PSG to win the Ballon d'Or. You look at, for example, this year it was between Messi and Haaland. Obviously, Messi was at PSG for the most of that season, but if it wasn't for the World Cup, Messi doesn't win the Ballon d'Or. Even though Messi is the greatest player of all time, in my opinion, and rightfully deserved the Ballon d'Or, if he hadn't have won the Ballon d'Or, if he hadn't won the World Cup, sorry, he would never have been in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or. He would have just been Erling Haaland. Um, but in also saying that, obviously France were the other half in that World Cup final. If Mbappe had won it, that's then another conversation of is Mbappe's name in that conversation? Because again, a two-time World Cup winner, that's a real conversation opener. Again, scored a hat trick in the final as well. Would that have offered a bit more of a conversation around it? I'm not entirely sure, but I think most seasons, unless it's a World Cup year, the most likeliest option to win the Ballon d'Or is to win the Champions League. And chat, let me know your guys' thoughts. For me, PSG are nowhere near winning the Champions League at all. Like you look at the clubs this season, for example, who are most likely to win it. That for me is Man City, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. Those three are the most likeliest to win it. City probably favourites to go back to back. Madrid, of course, will go favourites, each and every single time. But that's for me the likelihood of it. Like again, PSG would always be, probably what for probably like 4 or 5 years. For some reason, was always better favourites than Real Madrid. When Real Madrid were winning Champions Leagues back to back, or 3 or 4 in a row, like PSG for some reason were better than in the betting odds, and you're like, why? Because PSG always go out around quarterfinals time, somewhere around there. And again, the last couple of years they've been successful in terms of again getting to a Champions League final in 2020. I think semi-final was it 2021? I think it was as well, and got knocked out by Real Madrid. Not last season, the season before. And obviously Madrid went on to win it and beat us. But it's one of those situations again where I feel personally he has to leave PSG to be able to be in that conversation, because I think Mbappe said it himself. He wants to be the Ballon d'Or. He wants to win it back to back to back to back. And to do that, he has to be either Premier League or he has to go to Real Madrid. And at PSG, he won't do that. He won't challenge for a Ballon d'Or season upon season. He'll win the French league every single season, and he will most likely again, unless it's like a miracle story like Lille back in 2019 or 2020, or and like that. But or unless it's a World Cup and France go on to win it, and Mbappe is the best player in the World Cup. So it's for me, he has to go to a Premier League club, because it's also and chat. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this as well. For me, we are in the new era of football in terms of it's no longer Messi and Ronaldo dominating the headlines. It's like I said, it's Mbappe, it's Haaland, it's Darwin Nunes. No, but Mo Salah as well, I think, is in the conversation. I know Mo's 31, but still Mo's in that conversation. I'm trying to think, De Bruyne should be up there as well. I'm not saying, of course, it's going to be, this obviously Pedri, Gavi as well, from Barcelona. But I think that them three in particular, Haaland, Mbappe, and Bellingham, they are the three that will be that conversation again. in terms of Ballon d'Or, best player in the world. Like you look at the Premier League, not Premier League. Sorry. You look at Bellingham, for example. Bellingham's been brilliant for Real Madrid, and this is why Liverpool wanted to sign him. But he is at the minute the one light out of Real Madrid at the minute, because again they don't have an out and out number nine. They're playing a diamond more or less with two wingers and a 10, which is that sustainable? Can they win the Champions League doing that? I don't think they can. So do they bring in Mbappe? That's another conversation for as well. But I want to quickly get your thoughts anyway, guys, on the Ballon d'Or. Do you think he has to leave PSG to win the Ballon d'Or, or do you think that he can stay at PSG and still win it? Um, Me personally, I don't think he can stay at PSG to win the Ballon d'Or. But again, I want to know your guys' thoughts anyway in the chat down below. Let me quickly get up Bry's comment. PSG are the only club that can give him affordably once. Yeah, absolutely. 600 to 700k a week he probably wants as well. Well, we'll get on to the rumours that are circulating of the demands that apparently he wants if he does leave PSG, which looking at them, it's a bit of a situation, at least anyway. But if he wants to win the Ballon d'Or, only two clubs are Liverpool and Real Madrid. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But there's Zane. Good evening, press. Hopefully doing well, mate. John saying hi. Would you let Salah leave in the summer to get Mbappe? Now, I think in terms of again, when we're talking about which club he should go to next, this is a part of the Liverpool conversation of it. So I'll quickly talk about that. For me, Mbappe at the minute is, like I said, in that conversation with Haaland of being the best player in the world. If Liverpool somehow could get him, I would get him. But and when I say this, I mean the player Kylian Mbappe. I'm not on about the off the field antics and the childish mentality, I think, of Kylian Mbappe. The player, 100% I'd get, because again he is up there of being the best player in the world, with Haaland, Bellingham, and so on. And letting Mo go for that, could you work around? Because again, Mbappe could play on the right, he could play as the 10, he could play as a striker, he could play on the left as well. So Liverpool could just swap them. It could be, Mbappe on the right and take Mo out. But I think Liverpool are going to offer Mo Salah a new contract, and I've said this for the last couple of weeks. I don't think he goes to Saudi in 12 months' time. I do think he signs a new contract. I think Liverpool keep him because I believe Mo Salah can go until he's 35, 36 at the top level. I don't think it's as plain as day of what people think of, oh, he's over 30, 31, he's going to, drop at some point. He will drop at some point. 100% he will. But, people going about Cristiano Ronaldo in the, the state that Ronaldo was, again, 35, 36, 37, before he went to Saudi. I think Mo can do that and better. I do think that. But again, if you have the chance to sign Kylian Mbappe, you do it. That's the thing. But for a club like Liverpool, those numbers that are getting spoken about, I think it's £30 million. I think salary he wants a year. Mo, I think, is on an 18 million a year, which again, I think 17 or 18. I think Mo is on. So again, that's double that. But then again, if it is a free transfer, it kind of evens itself out. But would you sign a Kylian Mbappe for 580 grand a week? And that's just base salary. That's not appearance bonuses, goal bonuses, sponsorships, or image rights, or anything like that. It's again, you're talking about, the Saudis were on about, was it £1 billion a week, or £1 billion overall deal to get Mbappe to the Saudi league. I'm not entirely sure that would happen, if I'm being truly honest. Anyway, on Liverpool side of things, I'd love it too, but look at the Bellingham situation. If Liverpool have trouble next summer, where again they need to rebuild the defense, add maybe one in midfield, it's then I think Liverpool would do that over just sign one player. It's like with the Bellingham situation with Liverpool. Liverpool were destined to go and sign Jude Bellingham, and then he'd go on to headline Real Madrid. But Liverpool just couldn't fight because, again, we had to sign Soboslai, we had to sign Maka, Gravenberch, Endo. We tried to sign, obviously, Saicedo, but we tried to rebuild in one summer. If it was just one player, I think Liverpool might have tried all the way to go and sign Jude Bellingham. But again, I think it was a better decision. I think Liverpool again have to go out and get a defender, get a left back, get a DM in next summer. I think they 10 times would rather that than just focus everything on like an Mbappe deal, unless of course Mo does go, and then that's another conversation to have anyway. But it's another 4 years before anyone can win a World Cup, so it's Champions League all the way now as well. Yeah, to be fair, one thing I didn't say neither about the Ballon d'Or stuff. Do we think that the Euros could add some effect to it? I think obviously it's the Euros at the end of this summer, I think it is. So again, maybe that might add a sway on it anyway. But Mbappe, Sobo, Nunes in triangle next season wouldn't be too shabby. It wouldn't be, to be fair. Pressed neither. It'd be absolutely brilliant if that would happen anyway. But Colin Maloney cost Kylian. Yeah, again, Emi Martinez, wasn't it? That you know, was it a good save, or was it Colin Maloney missed that bad? No, it was a good save, to be fair. Bellingham as well, says Bry, but we're in the Premier League, or we're the Premier League clubs. Says mate, again, Liverpool, City, I think Chelsea as well. And again, it depends if he's on a free transfer. If he's not on a free transfer, then nobody can afford him, because if PSG are asking £200 million, there's no way that anyone goes for him with that. But it would be interested. They're waiting for Endrick. Yes, they are waiting for Endrick. I think Endrick got his first Brazil appearance, didn't he, this week? But yeah, they are waiting for Endrick. And that's another curveball with Real Madrid, where we'll talk about Madrid now. Like I said, they're playing that box formation at the minute when they've got everyone fit. Obviously, at the minute, they do have a lot of injuries. Vinny is out, I think, until January or February, which that's pretty bad in itself. So they might push the Endrick deal forward 6 months if they can. I don't know if they can do that. But it's the same with Madrid, though. It's like, this report, obviously, that I think Madrid come out with a statement, I think 2-3 weeks ago, or could even be longer than that, saying that again, there's no agreement between Mbappe and Real Madrid. We don't have anything that says that we're going to go and sign Kylian Mbappe. There's obviously PSG are worried that there is an agreement there, and both are just lying between Mbappe's camp and PSG. Mbappe's camp and Real Madrid, sorry. I think there is something of a lie there. You're telling me that, again, the fact that Mbappe apologized to Florentino Perez and apparently had meetings of, again, trying to rebuild that relationship, you're telling me that there's nothing going on there. I think that's a bit of a strange thing, I think, going on anyway. But yeah, I think in terms of Real Madrid, they need a number 9, and I think they also need a right winger. I personally don't like Rodrigo, and I've only watched a handful of games, and again, I can't judge him from an entire season. I don't know if you guys know as well, but for me, I don't think you can judge him. But from what I've seen, and I am judging him in some sense, I don't like Rodrigo. I know Madrid fans like him. I know that Madrid, Brazil also like him as well. But I don't know. I think Madrid need a number 9, and they need a right winger. from being honest. But Mbappe will be 28, 29 in World Cup 2026 as well. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like he there's going to be that conversation going on if he doesn't win anything big, because again, you think about it, he's won a World Cup, he's won he's won French league titles, never won a Champions League. Obviously, R9 never won a Champions League, but won a Ballon d'Or. So make sense, of course. But he did win a World Cup. Because to be fair, even though, and this is what what when City fans was arguing about Haaland winning about the Ballon d'Or, and saying, "Oh," and Ronaldo fans arguing about Haaland as well. When we talk about team, again, the Ballon d'Or for me is individual award. It is an individual reward, and people go on about, "Oh, they won the treble, so surely that means something." No, it doesn't. Like, look at 2019 for example. Virgil van Dijk has the best individual defender season ever, in my opinion. Nearly wins the Premier League. What was it, 97 points? We lost by a point. Unheard of season. Win the Champions League, and he finishes second to Messi. That's the one Ballon d'Or I think Messi should have lost. Personally, I don't think Messi should have had that Ballon d'Or. I think Virgil van Dijk should have had it. But people like, and again, individual awards, like, for example, like you look at the 2018, for example, when France won the World Cup, you'd expect a French player to win it, but Luka Modric won it because, again, individually he was phenomenal that year, and again won the Champions League. I think Madrid won the treble that season, if I'm not wrong, and got to a World Cup final. And that's the thing with Haaland, where again he scored a lot of goals, and again that's true, but individual Messi was better. And I think that's the funny side of it, where people will go, "Oh, because you win so many trophies." And again, it's kind of defeating the point I mentioned in terms of winning the Champions League or winning a World Cup. But I think you have to win something and also, be brilliant. Like Messi scored a goal every single game of that tournament. It was absolutely brilliant. I'm not saying Haaland wasn't brilliant, but it brings up that conversation again. Messi was better. But Liverpool doesn't sign top players. Even Mo didn't have a big name before Liverpool. That is true. Liverpool don't sign big players. Liverpool sign people that are going to be the next best thing. Mo, Ali, Virgil, for example. The one top player, or quote top player, we signed was Thiago Alcantara. More recently, again, don't know whether or not if you could mention anyone else, but Thiago was that one signing that we made. Where at the time, Thiago, probably apart from Kevin De Bruyne, was the best midfielder in the world, in what he did and what Liverpool brought in for him to do. And then, throughout time, it didn't work out, but as well as what we hoped for. Again, playing wise, brilliant, but again, injuries wise, it's been horrific with Thiago. But not happening, no chance. We were in for him in 2018, but he's out of our price range now. Yeah, I would agree. Of course, I think even was it 2021 as well. Mbappe said he had conversations with Liverpool. So again, there's room as well. His mum is a Liverpool supporter, so again, if Jurgen wants to get on the phone and sign him up as well. But yeah, I have to wait and see on that front anyway. Straight at his leg. Yeah, there was, to be fair. However, all these fans saying he's toxic, etc., would change their minds pretty bloody quickly after they watched him play for us. Yeah, again, like I said, the player Kylian Mbappé, you would want 100%. There's no debate about that. It is just the aftermath of it. If you're being honest, I'd love to see him in a Liverpool shirt, but I don't know. It's the backstage thing anyway, but they have Joseph playing as a stopgap as well. Yeah, no, they are. They signed him from, I can't remember where they signed him from, but they are definitely using him as a stopgap. Well, you look at Real Madrid in itself, because to be fair, we'll get on to the clubs that could sign him, because there is a possibility he just stays at PSG as well. There's a possibility that the new manager doesn't want him as well at Real Madrid. Now, of course, if anyone doesn't know as well, Carlo Ancelotti will leave Real Madrid this summer, or he'll leave at the end of the season. We know this because he's going to Brazil. I think the current Fluminense manager is currently the Brazil manager, but it does look he's going to get sacked because I think Brazil are 5th in the table for the World Cup, which isn't good by Brazil standards. And obviously, it looks like Xabi Alonso could become Real Madrid manager. Now, I did think that Nagelsmann might have been the replacement for Ancelotti, excuse me, when he did decide to go. Of course, there is nothing saying that Ancelotti's 100% going to go, whether or not he can, mix the two in that sense. But by the looks of things, Xavi Alonso will be the new Real Madrid manager at the end of the season. And does Xavi Alonso want? Well, is it a case of does Xavi Alonso have a say in who goes to Real Madrid, or is it just a done deal in terms of Perez again saying, look, we're going to give you Kylian Mbappé and you have to take him in that sense as well. I'm not too sure as well, but again, I'm interested to see if Xavi Alonso does go to Real Madrid as manager, again, what he would do, because Leverkusen at the minute are performing unbelievably well as well. So again, it could be very, very interesting in that sense as well. But Mbappe and Vinny playing in the same position, so that's another issue. Mbappe doesn't want to play central. He wants to play. He wants to be on the left in a 3, playing off a 9 as well. And that's the other thing. 100% agree with that, Brian. I think he's even come out and said he doesn't like playing on the right or centre. He likes playing on the left-hand side, which for Liverpool he could do. For Madrid, he still could, I think. I think they would sacrifice Vinny for him in that sense. But then again, I'm not too sure. I think they would. I think they would stick with this box formation. If Ancelotti is still the manager of PSG in 12 months' time, I think they would stick to this box formation, or stick to the diamond, and they'd put Vinny and they'd put Mbappe up front with Jude in behind them. So you'd have like kind of Jude playing that false 9-10 position, and then Mbappe and Vinny playing off of them. That would be, huge in that sense as well. But Lewandowski wins the Ballon d'Or in 20, except they cancelled it for Corona. Yeah, which I don't get, because Lewandowski deserved that Ballon d'Or 100%. That's why people thought he got robbed in 21. I don't think he got robbed in 21. I think it's because he deserved the Ballon d'Or, and everyone thought that. Again, I don't get how they cancelled that neither, because they should think it now. Who was the best in 2020? It was Lewandowski. Mbappe to Bayern seems logical off the left. Kane up top, Sane on the right. I don't think Bayern got the money. Press again, and I said this about Harry Kane, to be fair, but do you think that Bayern Munich can pay his wages and so on? I don't think so. Again, I genuinely think there is only 2 clubs in the world that could pay his wages, even on a free transfer, and that is Real Madrid and Man City. If I'm being honest, if the revenue things with City is true. They're the only teams that can afford him in that sense as well. So who knows? Anyway, but I don't think Bayern are in the conversation. Personally, we don't want him. He'd be trouble in the dressing room. Absolutely, 100%. Agree with you on that, Al. As well, good seeing you, Alan. As well. Hopefully, doing well, mate. Honestly, I think Mbappe has too much of an ego. But at the same time, if we did get him and he came to us and was banging them in left, right, I wouldn't complain. Yeah, absolutely, Panov. Absolutely agree. And that's the thing, isn't it, with Mbappe, where again, I've said it, and it would be interesting if Jurgen did have hold of him and Jurgen did, lay down things for him and so on. But again, that would just have to be an interesting thing of, what if? Because again, Jurgen loves Mbappe. And again, he's wanted to sign him for years. Even back in 2016, I think he wanted to sign him, but couldn't. And that's the unfortunate thing. If he had chose Liverpool over PSG the first time, what could then be for Liverpool? Because again, at the time, I think I don't think we would have got Mo Salah at that time if we got Mbappe, because he would have been playing on the right. Because that's where he was playing for Monaco. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Where again, in some sense it might have happened. In other sense, we got Mo Salah from it. So it's to be fair, I wonder if Liverpool didn't go for Mo, would Mo still be playing in Serie A? I always said that I thought Juventus might have gone for Mo because we'd always score against them. And once a player always scores against them, you usually sign them. So I always thought that Mbappe would be so scary, but not for us yet. Well, City anyway. If he did go there, Nagelsmann out out playing Kai Havertz at left back for Germany. I did saw that. I've seen that anyway. But didn't he score for Germany? Bride, did he score for Germany or not? I see he was playing left back, but I didn't check the score. But I saw a couple of people mention he scored. So again, if that's true, then yeah, Zizou is still available. I don't think he goes back to Madrid unless stopgap again. Could Zidane go back to Madrid again for the third time? I'm not entirely sure. But then again, if Perez got on the phone, then again, just shoot there, wouldn't he? Managers don't buy players at Real Madrid. They just get handed them. Yeah, exactly. Like, look at the front three Madrid used to have with Benzema, Ronaldo, and Bale. Like, that's a frightening, like. And this is the thing, right? Where La Liga now, for me, isn't so attractive in watching. I don't know about players. Obviously, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're up there, of course. But in terms of watching, even the El Clasico the other week, Bellingham, wasn't that great in the game, but scored one really, really good goal and a tap in. But in the the past like 5-10 years, you've had like two giant teams play. Front threes, for example, you've had Messi, Suarez, and Neymar against Bale, Benzema, and Ronaldo. Like that's mental. The fact that we had that as well. And yeah, it's just. I think La Liga's gone downhill, I think, in some sense. But good man, how are you? Panov as well asks Bry. They invented a new award just to give Lewandowski after he got mugged that year as well. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Let City get so he ends up in League One with them as well. Well, yeah, that's the other thing as well with City. But he's not joining Man City. Lads, no way he goes to League Two club as well. Well, to be fair, he is in League One at the minute in France, so League Two, it's not that bad. To be fair, of course, I am joking in that sense. But again, chat, I will quickly take a look at the poll in the comments, but we haven't really spoken about any other club. Like, again, I do think there is only 3 teams he can go to apart from PSG. Of course, PSG for me, I think he stays at PSG. as for some reason I'm out of focus. There we go. I think he stays at PSG. And the reason why I think that is because, again, nobody can get him out the club. Um, Playing wise, I think, where's he most suited to out of all of Europe? It is Real Madrid. Because again, if Madrid keep to this diamond formation, they could play a front three of Bellingham. Well, Bellingham as the 10, and then two nines as Vinny and Mbappe. Like, that's mental to think about. And even still, they could go a front three. Or even when Endrick comes in, because that's the thing. Everyone thinks Endrick is going to automatically start for Real Madrid. It didn't take. It took Vinny, I think, 2 years before Vinny become good at Real Madrid. It took him a while to get used to life in Madrid, and I think that's something similar that Endrick will have to figure out, because again, watching him in training for Brazil wasn't that great. Even though when I've watched highlights and watched extended clips of him in Brazil, he looks brilliant. But if you were to ask me right now, who do I think he goes to? I do think again he goes to Real Madrid, but it's one of those conversations of if he is going, he'll go Real Madrid. But there's also that thought process in my mind, and talking about you guys in the comments as well. He stays at PSG, and I think that is more likely now than him going to Real Madrid at the present moment in time, as well. But to be honest, there's only two clubs Mbappe could go to. One that would be us, as Klopp would make him more of a superstar than he is, but would make him more humble, to Real Madrid, and he would be there for 10 years. Yeah, absolutely agree. But they, again, though, when you think about it, though, as well as, Panov says, but Madrid have their midfield for the next 10 years. They have their defense more or less for the next 5-6 years. It's just an attack. That, if they get Mbappe, they've got Vinny, they've got what would be brilliant and what would be perfect if they had a Bobby Firmino in that conversation. Of course, one thing I should have mentioned as well before we did talk about the Mbappe stuff, obviously sad news with Bobby. I don't know if you guys have heard the news. Of course, obviously, sadly, his dad has passed away. So obviously, our thoughts with Bobby and his family. Sad news that came out, I think, earlier on this afternoon. So again, hopefully, we're hoping, of course, obviously, all their family is, well, obviously safe and sound, but I mean, in terms of, again, our thoughts are with them as well. But just sad news. Again, if you guys have seen him in the, I think the Liverpool documentary, he was in there as well. Speaking about Bobby, so again, a bit of sad news from that as well. But yeah, just I think if they were to get the two of them, I do think that they would absolutely dream of a Bobby Firmino to sacrifice himself so he gets the best out of Vinny and Mbappe as well. But Saudi for 2 years, and then Newcastle. No way, Bry. Newcastle not going to be in Europe next season, the way things are going. To be fair, there is that funny meme though, isn't it? With was it when Griezmann was playing Footy Manager and he signed Mbappe from for Newcastle on Footy Manager, and he says who? And of course, obviously they got battered by Newcastle, didn't they, as well? But great show, Connor. Thanks, mate. Big up, Al. Hopefully doing well, mate. And as well, yeah, thank you for tuning in, mate. Endrick will be burnt out at 25 if he's not careful. Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree on that. What else do we have? When we get back in UCL next season, I want Real Madrid. I don't. To be fair, we will play Real Madrid because it's that new system next season, isn't it? So I think we play everyone, don't we? I don't know if we play them twice or if we play them once. Again, I'm not too sure about the whole stupid system. It's a crap system. But yeah, I do think the I think Liverpool play Madrid next season. Madrid is still laughing at the money. United give them for Casemiro and Varane. Yeah, that is true. They are, and to be fair, United, if reports are true, can only spend 20 million in January, which would be funny. Um, Obviously, yeah, but a lot of heart emojis as well. Thank you, Al, for that. What's the system, everyone? Haven't heard of how it worked. What on about press? Oh, do you mean the Champions League system? So it's it's no longer four groups. It's one big table, and I think the top eight is it. I think it's the top eight automatically qualify, and then it's the best of the rest. Then play. Oh, I don't know why that's fallen off. It's the best of the rest. Then I think play each other to qualify for again the last 16 or whatever it is, or the last eight, and then you know then they all play each other like knockout group stages. It's just practically more games and more or less same money, which is ridiculous. Or I think it is a bit more. But yeah, it's a stupid thing. Of course, we'll talk about it more if Liverpool in the Champions League next season. Expect Liverpool to be in the Champions League next season. Expect us to be in a title fight this season. But yeah, it works out the same anyway. United looking at Griezmann because he has a £20 million release clause. That would be funny if they got him. But to be fair, I do think that Griezmann is a really, really good player this season so far. That sounds good in my opinion, not going to lie. No, excuse my language, it is shite, lads. It's not good. Again, player welfare wise, it's awful. Money wise, it's good. But yeah, not good in that sense anyway. But again, guys, I will quickly check the poll as well because I did put a poll in the comments. Give me 2 secs, guys, so I can have a look on my phone to have a look what the poll is saying. So 40. Oh, I don't want to put that out. So 47% is Liverpool as next, Kylian Mbappe's next club. What was it? 40%. 40% says Real Madrid, and 13% says stays at PSG, and none of you are going for Man City. I'm surprised by that. I thought a couple of people would have said Manchester City. Because wouldn't that be funny if Madrid signed Haaland instead of Mbappe? That would be the funny point with it. But for me, I do think he stays at PSG, even though So, two sides of it. If he does leave to a club, it will be to Real Madrid. It will be. But I do think he stays at PSG. That would be my thoughts anyway. Again, let me know yours down in the comment section down below as well. But we're doing the quad this season, Connor. I hope so, Panov. I absolutely hope so. I think we do a double. I think we do League Cup and Europa League, but whether or not it's a league in that as well, I'd absolutely take it. So we auto face like for like Bayern, Man City, PSG, Arsenal as well. Yes, I think so. Again, as Al said, by a new Champions League system, it's like Super League, but the back door. Yeah, it is. It's just Champions League. It's UEFA doing it, not the European clubs going off to a separate league, making more money, and yeah, the Champions League being left behind. It was basically made because of the Super League. So yeah, take that as you will anyway, guys. But again, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't get it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And that's for me the Champions League. The way things are at the minute with group stages, again, because it determines as well whether or not I don't know whether or not if this is the case or not, whether or not if Champions League teams go into the Europa League and like Europa League teams go into the Conference League. I don't know whether or not if that still happens from next season onwards. I'm not too sure. But again, it's not good in that sense. Neither anyway. But I am going to leave it there for today, guys. Anyway, big thank you to everyone for popping in. Bit of a different stream. Just wanted to talk about Kylian Mbappe and my thoughts on where he'll go up. Like I said, If he does leave PSG, it will be to Real Madrid. But I think there is more of a chance of him staying at PSG than it is him going to Real Madrid. Now, anyway, again, things could change in football in like 2 months' time or 2 weeks' time. Um, but for me, I do think he stays at PSG. I think he'll stay at PSG, and again, I think he'll regret it. I think he even regrets it now. To be fair, anyway. But again, I'm not too sure on that. Anyway, let me quickly check out the last few comments. Top eight would be quite easy as well. Should be, but again, look at Liverpool the last couple of weeks. Again, shouldn't have drawn against bloody Luton, and then we shouldn't have lost against Toulouse, but we did. We got battered by Toulouse, to be fair. Nice one, Connor. Have a good night, mate, as well. Thank you, Panav. Hopefully you do as well. Yeah, obviously check it out. Obviously check out the channel as well. If you are new, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff as well. Hopefully if you do like the new, obviously we've got the green screen working now, we've got the microphone, so hopefully everything sounds a lot better, hopefully everything looks a lot better as well, and yeah, just in general, hopefully everything is good as well. But yeah, of course, obviously no international break, obviously massive for Dom Szoboszlai as well. Of course, him qualifying, I think, today for the Euros as well. Got a 10 out of 10 on match rating, which again, unbelievable for Dom in that sense as well. So obviously happy for him. But yeah, obviously massive week coming up now for the Reds. Get City on Saturday, of course. All of their players are mysteriously injured, which again is a load of absolute shite. Again, they're not injured at all. Liverpool, City, it's the biggest game in the Premier League, and if Liverpool win that, Liverpool are proper title challengers this season and would be top of the league as well. So fingers crossed, we will 100% get that as well. But Consor's got it right this time. No problem. Yeah, to be fair, I didn't see the 2-0s pan as well. To be fair, I didn't see it either. So you were good on that sense anyway. Van Dijk's challenge last night, that was elite. Again, I put it on Twitter, Van Dijk is him right now. He is the best defender in the world. It's like he never left. So again, we might talk about that tomorrow as well anyway. But until next time, guys, hopefully have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, Monday, wherever you are around the world. Anyway, and yeah, busy week on the channel. Liverpool City on Saturday. Looking forward to it. We might do a watch along as well, because now I have the proper the cameras and that. I can do it while watching the telly, but there. So if you would like watch alongs, I'm not saying there's going to be many, but if you would like some, then let me know in the comments before I do it off. But yeah, until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the COP Council. I'll see you guys later on. Ta-ra.